Recently, we lost Robin Williams, an outstanding comedian who suffered a great deal. Let's make sure that suicides like this won't happen to anyone close to us. If you know anybody who may be depressed and are suffering like Robin Williams did, get them help. Call this number, 1-800-273-8255. That is the number of the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. The call is free and confidential and will be answered by a trained counselor at a local crisis center. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline can help. You hear great jazz on GJRB with the best of jazz, up-and-coming jazz, and smooth afternoon. If you can't get enough of jazz and you live in the Quad Cities area, tune in to KALA, St. Ambrose University in Davenport, Iowa, at 88.5 on the FM dial. Along with some of that great smooth jazz, you'll hear a lot of great jazz programming. And programming in other great music formats. Like blues, urban, including rap. Also classic R&B and Motown with David Baker on Rewind, Friday nights at 6 p.m. Central. In addition, you get programming in Spanish and some great gospel programming too. For more information on that great programming you'll hear, check out their schedule at www.sau.edu/KALA. Even if you don't live in the Quad Cities area, you can enjoy KALA anywhere in the world with their internet stream. Connect with KALA. Listen and enjoy. The mainstream media is not telling you the truth. They have their own agenda. At GJRB, I have mine, telling you what's really going on with sources like End Time Headlines, InfoWars, Coast to Coast AM, and most importantly, CBN News, keeping you on top of what's happening at the top and bottom of each hour during the Gary Wrestling program. I'll give you the news and analysis of what I think with Gary J's News and Comment. Get the real news, true news, news that's not in the mainstream on GJRB. Whether it's baseball, basketball, hockey, even bowling, it's covered on Gary J's Sports page. I'll talk about what's going on in the world of sports all over the USA. We'll read you interesting articles about the players and even keep up with the scores of the games going on live. I'll even have guests from time to time and just talk sports. Better than any newspaper page, it comes alive. Gary J's Sports page, alternating Saturdays at 2 o'clock Central on GJRB Online. This is an audio stroll down memory lane. Gary J's Radio and Television Classics on GJRB Online. Memorial Days, we're back with Gary J's Radio and Television Classics. We're a little late, but we're back here according to our program's law, where it should have been back about 17 minutes ago, but sometimes I have to take some time out, load, and get things ready, so I am changing it a little bit. Alright, welcome back to Radio and TV Classics here on GJRB. We're going to have some fun with some trivia questions this afternoon, as well as playing some more fun stuff from the golden age of radio and TV as well. And you know, recently we lost some big stars in the music world, in the entertainment TV world this past few months. Some of them we lost. One of them was from the Dukes of Hazzard. James Best, well known for his role on Dukes of Hazzard playing Roscoe P. Coltrane. We lost him back, I think around April, the age of 88.
The actor James Best is perhaps best remembered for playing Sheriff Roscoe P. Coltrane in The Dukes of Hazzard.
Cletus, I'll tell you what to look hard for. Look hard in your pay envelope next week, because stupidity is subject to withholding tax. You dipstick!
James Best died this past week at the age of 88. Best enlisted in the U.S. Army after high school and ended up serving with the military police in Germany during World War II. During that time, he joined a military theater group, and he was pretty good at acting. In the 1950s, Best acted in all kinds of Western movies and made appearances on TV shows like The Twilight Zone and The Andy Griffith Show. But it's his role as the inept but endearing sheriff on The Dukes of Hazzard that stands out. I spoke with Best just ahead of a Dukes of Hazzard reunion in 2013, and he told me that one of the reasons he signed on to the show was because he was told it would be shot in Georgia and that he wouldn't have to move to Los Angeles. But plans changed, and so did the show's location.
Anyway, we spent the next 6.5 years in L.A., and I thank God every day for having been a small part in a series that's known all over the world now. And after 30 years, we still draw thousands and thousands of fans at Duke Fest.
Do you have a favorite episode yourself, personally?
Well, it would sound conceited if I said so, but I had more fun playing the $1 Million Sheriff, which was a two-parter, where I inherited supposedly $1 million.
What's it feel like being the richest man in Hazzard County?
Oh, it's good news. Devil, he ain't. He ain't. I'm the richest man in Hazzard County. I always have been, and I always will be.
From the sound of things, boss, Roscoe could buy you out quicker than a stuck pig squeals.
I think there was so many of the shows that I really had a pleasure working, especially with Boss Hogg, Sorrel Book, who was a fantastic actor, and he went along with everything I would say. You know, I go, I'm kidding, and I do all that stuff.
Yeah, Roscoe always had a hard time getting his words out.
Yeah, well, you know, originally they wanted me to play Roscoe as a straight sheriff. I didn't want to do that. I said, I'm going to play Roscoe like a 12-year-old who likes Hot Pursuit. And when I got the giggle and the whole thing, I ad-libbed that. That's what I used to do with my daughters when they were little. I'd go, get you little rascal. And when I met with the producers and directors, that's what I did, and they fell off their chairs laughing. So that's what I incorporated in the television series.
You know, Bo and Luke were famous for sliding into their car, the General Lee, in kind of an unusual way, going in through the window. Were you good at that? Did you ever try that?
No, I never tried to slide through the windows because I was 50 years old. At that point, I had a hard enough time falling off curbs and crashing the car and all that crazy stuff, you know.
That's just a little bit more than the law of life.
Well, before we let you go, can you give us Roscoe P. Coltrane for the road?
Okay, this is the way it goes. This is Roscoe P. Coltrane going against little fat buddy. You got your ears on? This is not a little Hot Pursuit. Come here, Flash. Get him. I'm gone.
I'm a good old boy.
Actor James Best died this past week in Hickory, North Carolina. He was 88 years old.
But you don't understand, they keep a showing my hands and not my face on TV.
And there you go, bringing back memories of Roscoe P. Coltrane, lost there recently. James Best died at the age of 88. Bringing back memories here on Gary J's Radio and Television Classics. Another one we lost here just earlier in the year was Donna Douglas, who played on the Beverly Hillbillies.
I know it hurts your ears, Duke. Pretty soon me and you's gonna take a nice long walk outside. Give me the bone, Granny. I'll find him. Don't you worry, Duke. We'll get out of here. Rusty, now that you and Skippy's such good friends, I bet you'd like it fine if you could swim, too. There ain't no reason that cats can't swim just as good as dogs. You two've got to learn to get along together. Now make up and be friends. Come on. Kiss and make up. I got a cat that swims.
Wonderful.
He'd rather swim than eat fish. Come on, I'll show you. Hot diggity dog, I'm gonna like courting and sparking.
Only the courting part. I ain't got to the sparking yet.
That right, Paul. Here she is, Mr. Drysdale.
My lips long to taste your lovely hand.
Why did you throw him? That rascal was fixing to fight me. Be a good girl. Bye-bye.
Turn on the lights. Needle, please.
Of course, the famous episode of the Twilight Zone called The Eye of the Beholder, where they take the bandages off of her, and according to them, the alien planet wherever she's on, deformity is normal, but beauty is not. Great episode of the Twilight Zone. And that's some of the parts she played on television back then. Donna Douglas, pretty well known for her part on the Beverly Hillbillies. And of course we head over to Lynn Borden, who played in the last season of Hazel as the didn't play all that much in anything as far as being a bit small parts. Most famous for her role in 1972, though, she did a low-budget movie called Frogs. Talented actress rarely received many roles. Originally to play a lead in the 1964's Roustabout with Elvis Presley, but her most memorable role is in the film Dirty Mary Crazy Larry back in 1974. Her father, she was believe it or not, she was a Miss Arizona in 1957. In 1958, Miss America pageant won by Colorado's Marilyn Van Der Bar. She was the swimsuit preliminary for that. The winner, of course, also on the top of the top 10 finalists. In July 2007, she was a guest on July 2007. She was a guest on the Western Film Fair in Charlotte, North Carolina, along with Jacqueline Scott, Betty Lynn, Lana Wood, Joyce Meadows, Rick Lenz, Brett Halsey, and Robert Dix. But she first had her current husband Roger Brunel in the 1960s when he repaired a Corvette. Then they later got married. Also a painter and a singer in the choir. But again, she was well known for her part in the last season of Hazel. Lynn Borden, who recently died here, the day here, on March 3rd in Encino, California. All right, Garyj Russell with you. This is Radio and TV Classics here on GJRB. Coming up, going to go back and I was kind of struggling with this one because, first of all, I'm doing what they call, as you remember, we do a thing called Retro Primetime, where I read TV listings from a certain year at this time. Well, I went battling, trying to find listings for today in 1967. Unfortunately, didn't come about it. Couldn't find Memorial Day listings for 1967. So I'm going to kind of roughly go through some stuff a little here in a few minutes. Also going to play classic 1970 ABC Friday night lineup coming up next here on Radio and TV Classics. Garyj Russell with you here on GJRB Online. Hope you're enjoying the program. We're playing some fun trivia here on Radio and TV Classics here on GJRB. And fun time it is. Gonna be delving into some of those trivia questions. I was going through some of them. Haven't found anything really related to TV, so I'm looking here at some of the stuff I could do. Some of these are general questions, but I'm looking basically into the television entertainment world pretty much, and